All right, guys, to watch this video here for Thursday, April 15th. Starting off with the daily chart of the SPY. We kind of had, well, someone said it's the first red day in like 13 days or something crazy like that, and it hasn't happened since 74. I don't know, something like that. But if you go to 5-minute candles, really did kind of have a nasty midday sell-off, little bounce, but ended up going out pretty close to the low of day. It's actually kind of refreshing to see a red candle. But having said all that, to me, being someone who day trades and I'm in front of the screens all day, every day, I'm telling you, the market's weird right now. It is very hard to find something to trade. Um, and the most dangerous thing to me as a day trader, and excuse me, this is the way I'm wired, is I am kind of dangerous in really, really boring markets because it is hard to sit for hours and not do anything, even if that's what the market's telling you should do, right? So you really do have to be disciplined and only trade if you have an A+ setup. Otherwise, don't trade, right? So doing nothing is actually a skill as a day trader, knowing when to do nothing. So there's not a lot of action right now. My best trade today, let me do this right, PLBY, Playboy again. And I'll show you the setup because it was actually pretty clean. All right, so look at this. Playboy hits hole number 39 right here in the opening 5 minutes. Keep in mind, yesterday's high was 39.88, so not that far above. It comes up, tests 39 again. Actually went to 38.94. So you've got a cup, you got the handle forming. It was getting pretty tight. And I had said over the microphone, I like Playboy anytime over 39, anytime today, preferably in the afternoon, which is pretty much what we got. And you'll see when it breaks through 39, look at this rip. That's why we had yesterday's high as another catalyst. Plus, we had a stock that has just been crazy strong. So I loved this intraday setup. I'm actually a little mad at myself because normally I would have had more size. I had my quantity selection lower than I thought, and I clicked buy like 2 or 3 times and still didn't have anywhere near the shares that I meant to have. Even so, I still had a really nice trade. But, I mean, that's the stuff we look for, right? Stuff that works right away past that inflection point. And ended up going a little bit higher after that before kind of rolling over. So anyway, that was my best trade of the day. I had a bottoming feed play in coin. Traded 300 shares in coin and made on a bounce, made $1,100 in just a few minutes. And that's when I realized I didn't feel like 300 shares was very dangerous. And I realized, wow, this thing's moving quicker than I thought. Luckily, it was moving in my direction. I caught the bounce. But I didn't mess with it after that because I was thinking, typically you say 300 shares, you're not going to do any harm. It's just going to be like a little trade one way or the other. But that thing was so moving so passionately that I couldn't believe all of a sudden I'm up $1,100. Took the profits and never looked back. But it was. Let's show you coin real quick, and then I'll go into the watch list. So coin opened 381 ish, went all the way to almost 430. And then ended up going down to 310. That's a crazy range. Maybe you want to watch this one all week. I don't know. It was too weird for me. I'll see if we get a couple more red days. I'll become interested. But anyway, it's like the market was waiting for coin to open, is how it felt, right? And it opened, I guess, around 1 o'clock or something. So there was nothing going on before that. And then that opened and crazy volume. But the point I want to make is, I run scans every night, and there is not a lot setting up on any way, shape, or form. So let's talk about what I'm going to watch. NET had the big pop yesterday, kind of a quiet inside day today. I'm looking for a third day play there. ATNF had a really nice run. Now you've got 2 red days on declining volume. That one, looking for that one to turn back up, only with an A+ intraday setup. RICE, another one, a really strong move, RICE. And a few days lower on declining volume, so that goes on bounce watch. GBOX, really strong stock. Now back down to some support here. Can't see the 50-day on this chart. The 50-day is, let me look at this here, 1279. So if we get a sell-off down to the 1279 area, that might be an area that you can watch for an intraday bounce. But that one goes on bounce watch. Just a couple sessions ago, it was almost 20, and now it's down in the 13s. VT had the big pop yesterday and inside day to day, but went out at its highs. So that one's worth watching. Pretty good long setup there. CBLI, nice pop yesterday. Quiet inside day to day. Looking for a third day play. AI doesn't look like much of a bounce here. And it did close well off its highs, but the range today was from 64.75 to 73.70, so almost like a $10 range, almost maybe $9 range, but closing well off its highs. And it's kind of the second day in a row that it bounced, certainly holding that 60 area pretty nicely. Anyway, 5-minute candles here. It did have a really nice run, just kind of tapered down into the close. So I'm going to look for a long setup on that one. And then WHLM, it's the last one I have on watch. Had the gap up 3 sessions ago, sold off, and it's starting to curl back up. Pretty strong in what kind of an ugly tape for the market. I got to tell you, I'm not in love with this list at all, man. I'm hoping we find some decent gappers or some news plays tomorrow, because it's not a great list and not a lot of great looking charts right now. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.